G3AMW listening. Frequency and use, please. Any station monitoring the frequency, G3AMW listening. Stand by, Rich.
M0 JBA.
Okay, John, just stand by, Rich. Go ahead, John.
Yeah, G3AMW from M0 JBA. Loud and clear in Cossingham, Bernard.
Yeah, 5-9, John. Nice signal. Just confirm, okay, and back to Rich.
Yeah, Bernard, you're in stopping here, 59 plus, so it's over to you, Rich, M0 RKK from M0 JBA.
Cheers, John. Good evening. G3AMW M0 RKK. Evening, Bernard. 59 plus tonight, over.
Yeah, thanks for the 5-9 plus, Rich. And I believe John gave you a good report. Just confirm, John, over.
Yeah, M0 RKK, M0 JBA. Yeah, you're also in stopping, Rich.
M0 JBA, M0 RKK in the group. Yeah, cheers, John. Good evening to you both. Anyway, you're plus 20, John, over.
Okay, thanks for that.
Yeah, super that, John. Right, any other station on frequency? Very good evening to shortwave listeners. John Hon, hold on, Tom, if you're on frequency. And thanks the other week for John giving us a ring, shortwave listener. G3AMW listening.
2E0 IDL.
G0IDL, apologies, I can never remember the name and the QTH, over.
G3AMW is 2E0 IDL, and it's Dave in Drypool, Bernard.
I should have realised that, Dave. Very good evening to you there. You're 5-9 with me. Right, I'll show you on to Rich at the top of the mile list. If you'd like to give him a call, that's M0RKK, G0IDL from G3MW, Thursday evening, Hull Radio Club Radio Net. Over.
M0RKK, 2E0 IDL. Good evening, Rich. I hope you're okay.
2E0 IDL, M0 RKK. Hi, Dave. Yeah, not too bad, thank you. You are. And stopping as usual this way, Dave, over.
Yeah, and the same the other way around, Rich. In fact, everybody's end stopping tonight. It must be one of those good propagation evenings. No problem whatsoever.
Oh, cheers for that. Yeah, bit of rain into it. We've got a heat wave, haven't we, at the weekend, apparently. So I'll look forward to that, because at least I'll be able to spread my butter out the butter pot. So, right, back to you, Bernard. G3AMW, M0RKK.
Yeah, super, Rich. M0RKK, G3MW. Yeah, is it a forecast 2 or 3 days? I didn't realise that we're supposed to be getting some warmer weather, over.
I think it starts, I'm just having a look, Bernard, I think it starts on Saturday. Well, yeah, 14, 15, 16, and then dropping down a little bit after that. So you got Saturday, Sunday, Monday, up to 16 degrees, which it's about time, because I was looking at the temperature the other night and it was 1 degree, and I thought we're a third of the way through the year. Yeah, it'd be nice to have a little bit of warmth. Bernard, over.
Yeah, super that, yeah. I definitely feel the cold these days. And I've got 3 fingers in my left hand that I can't feel in any case. And it really affects, so I'm hoping when we do get a bit of better weather, that hand will be a lot easier to try and use. Right, okay, we'll just see if there's anybody else on frequency. G3MW, Thursday evening, VHF net listening. Appreciate a call any other station wishing to join the net. Yeah, nothing doing at the moment, so I'll go around to Dave and just see how he's keeping. G0RDL, Tripod Dave, what sort of, having a reasonable time at the moment, or any comments or any news that might interest the lads on the net? Dave, from G3AMW.
G3AMW 2E0IDL. Yeah, Bernard, the call is 2E0. Don't promote me to G just yet. 2E0IDL. No, nothing major going on, I'm afraid. Been doing a little bit of it in the garden today, which made a change. And Rich, the only thing I would say about the temperature is where I used to live in Spain, today's temperature was 38. That's 38. So it's a tad warm down there. They're getting a heat wave over from northern Africa at the moment. That's about it from me at the moment, Bernard. So back to you, G3AMW from 2E0IDL.
Yeah, apologies, I put that correct. 2E0IDL. Okay, Dave. Yeah, okay on the heat wave. Yeah, oh, yeah, that sounds pretty hot, doesn't it? I'll tell you what, you'd be walking around with shorts on, wouldn't you? If we got that sort of weather. Right, okay, we'll just see if there is any other person interested in joining the net. T3AMW, Thursday evening, VHF net on 2 meters, listening any other call. No, nothing doing, so I'll just pop back to the top. Rich, have you got any news to read out or anything that might be of interest to anybody? M0RKK G3AMW with a small group at the moment.
M0RKK, cheers Bernard. Yeah, it is quite small, isn't it, at the minute? Let's keep his fingers crossed, hope it builds up a bit. Yeah, well, you know, I'll put the net news out later on if that's okay with you. But yeah, no other news. We're getting bits and bobs ready for the VHF field day at Easington. We're going to Easington this year, next to the seaside, to see if we can get out any better. And we bought a couple of slightly better antennas and a rotator, another rotator. So. Yeah, that's the only news for the club actually at the minute. But yeah, how are you doing anyway now, Bernard? Are you picking up now, over?
Yeah, okay, Rich. Yeah, I'm a little bit better. I've still got a rough throat, and still coughing up a bit, but a lot better than I was. Right, the field day, VHF field day. What's the dates? Can you give me the date? And I'll make a note at the bottom of the list here. And does it cover 48 hours or less? Over.
From M0RKK, yeah, it's the whole weekend, Bernard. Saturday and Sunday, July 1st and 2nd. I believe it starts at 1400, so it'll be 3 o'clock our time till 3 o'clock the next day. And we'll be working 2 meters, 70 sems, 4 meters, 6 meters, and for the first time we'll be doing 23 centimeters as well. That's what one of the members in our group has built all the kit up for that, so he fancies that. Even just a few contacts on that would be quite amazing because we've not done that before. So yeah, 1st and 2nd of July, Bernard, G3AMW M0RKK.
I'm just writing that down there, 1st and 2nd of July. Kick-off time, Rich.
I believe it's 3 o'clock our time. I think it's 1400 UTC.
That'll be 2 o'clock then, 1400 hours, over.
UTC, yeah, we can't start till 3 though.
Yeah, super that. Right, I'll made a note at the bottom of the sheet actually on that. So great that. Right. Any other station on frequency wishing to join the Thursday evening VHF net? Please give us a call. G3MW with the group listening. Oh, a short supply at the moment. Right, I'll go on to John and just see if there's any news of anything of interest, John. M0JBA from G3 AMW.
Have G3 AMW and the group from M0JBA. Not really much of interest, Bernard. Well, on Sunday I'll be going up to Ripon to help run the Ripon rally, and yeah, I've not been very radioactive recently, as they say, but no, and yeah, regarding this weather in Spain, the 38 degrees in Spain, well, I've experienced both, and I much prefer this dull, miserable weather we've got here to 38 degrees, Bernard, and you know, when I've got that sort of weather, I don't walk around in my shorts. I prefer to keep my skin covered and stay out of the sun as much as possible. And yeah, I've not spoken to Dave yet, so I'll go over to him if you don't mind, Bernard.
Yeah, okay, good. Just give him a shout, John. M0JBA, G3MW with the group.
Okay, 2E0 IDL from M0JBA. Evening, Dave. You're in stopping over here as usual. Over.
M0JBA 2E0 IDL. Yeah, you're 5 and 9 plus 40 here, John, so no problem whatsoever. And certainly the temperature in Spain, the hottest I knew it when I was there was driving back from Cordoba one afternoon when the temperature gauge on in the town there showed 47, that's 47, and it was warm. But as you say, keep everything covered and keep in the shade, which is what the Spanish do. Back to you.
Yeah, 2E0 IDL from M0JBA. Can just top you just a little bit, Dave. Out in Saudi, it used to hit 50 sometimes, and it's amazing when we went into the air-conditioned offices how really cold they felt, and they were 30 degrees. All that.
Yeah, fully understand that, fully understand. You go into some of the shops during the summer there and it's like walking into a fridge, or it feels like it, where by here, if you go into Tesco's in the summer, you actually want to go near the hot bits. So, yeah, I know exactly what you mean, but 50, that is warm. And back to you.
Yeah, in Saudi, it never officially got above 50, because apparently if it got above 50, all the workers were able to just pack up and go home. So it never officially exceeded 50. Over.
Yeah, I fully understand that. I can remember when I worked in South London at a factory there, the temperature on one of the machines went up to 135 centigrade, and everybody was complaining it was a bit warm. And of course, although there's a minimum operating temperature for a factory, there's no maximum. So everybody had to keep working, but that was also warm. Back to you, John.
Yeah, it's distinctly chilly, that's. It's the kind of thing you don't want to be touching or standing too near to, isn't it?
Yeah, quite right, quite right. It's, I suppose if you're operating it, you've got no choice, but you touch it from a distance with asbestos gloves on or something. But yeah, not good. But as you said, I prefer to have miserable and a bit chilly than meltingly hot. Back to you, John.
Yeah, 3-0 idea from M0JBA. Yeah, David, my view on it is if it's cold, you can always put more clothes on. If it's hot, there's only so much you can take off. Over.
Yeah, completely agree, completely agree. You can always put a jumper on, but once you got down to your underpants, there's not much further you can go. Well, not outside, anyway. I'll pass it back to you, perhaps back to Bernard, John.
Yeah, okay, fine, Dave. Well, even if you're absolute naked, it don't make much difference to the temperature, apart from that you're going to get sunburn all over, including places where you don't at all want it. Anyhow, excuse me, with that I'll pass it back to you, Ben, at G3 AMW from M0JBA. Over.
Yeah, still with that, John. M0JBA, and final on Dave there, RDL. Yeah, them sort of temperatures. Yeah, the only place if you're about, you want to be in a swimming pool, don't you? But most of the people abroad they just go back to bed, don't they? And get up about 3 o'clock time and start the day or the second part of the day later on in the afternoon. Right, okay. We'll just see if we've got anybody else on frequency. G3MW, Thursday evening, VHF radio net listening, and a very good evening to the shortwave listeners. Appreciate any call from any other station. G3MW listening.
20 Bravo Romeo Queen. Good evening.
Yeah, 280 Bravo Romeo. A little bit down there, a bit of a crackle. 2 or 3 times your call, please. Over.
Rich, if you're on, tell him it's me, Keith. 20 BRQ.
Yeah, okay, Keith. You're about a 2. I got the B only, but BRQ, super that. How are you, Keith, from the G3 AMW with the group?
Not too bad, Bernard. I'm in rehab now. I'm on Brandhome in rehab, Bernard. So back to you.
Yeah. Are you at home? I think you said Brandhome. Over.
Yeah, I'm in rehab. I'm in rehab, Bernard. Rehab.
Is that a home? Over. Is that a home, Riyadh?
Yeah, I'm in rehab where I've got to learn how to walk and everything again, Bernard.
Yeah, super. So you, how are you feeling? A little bit better, or just steady? Over.
I'll feel a lot better when I start walking again.
Yeah, that's yeah. Is it difficult to attempt to walk at the moment? Over.
It is. I'm bedridden, Bernard. Bedridden.
Oh yeah. Hey, how many weeks have you been at that grounded like that, Keith? Over.
4 weeks, Bernard. 4 weeks.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Well, I hope things will start to pick up. I'll put you on to Richard and see if he can copy you. Richard, if you're hearing Keith, just give him a call. Over.
20 BRQ, 0 RKK and the group. Hi Keith, I couldn't believe the signal. I thought, blimey, from Cottingham on an Ando, but yeah, I see you my side of town now, aren't you? So yeah, I'm glad you managed to get out of there, mate, and I probably, you know, from now on things will be looking up, and they're looking after you there. So yeah, 20 plus, Keith. I'm assuming you're on your hand now, unless they allowed you to bring the shack in there. 20 BRQ M0 RKK.
20 BRQ returning now, Rich. There's no choice. One's just come in and said, it's better than using a mobile phone. Yeah, I'm just up the road from me in Ward. I mean, in sort of, you know, Harfield or whatever they call it, the rehabilitation centre.
Is that where the centre is? Is it? Islands, is it, or is it actually in the Brandhome Centre, Keith?
No, it's in Sutton on one road in Sutton. It's got that's where it is, in one road in Sutton, the rehabilitation centre, where the physios let me to walk and everything again.
Oh, okay, mate. Yeah, not very far at all then, isn't it? So. Yeah, well, I'm glad we got each other, mate, because to be honest, on the import, I couldn't hear you on Monday. Obviously, you know, with you being over in Cottingham, a couple of other guys, other than John, actually could hear you. So, yeah, you were doing pretty well with your, you know, your handheld and your rubber duck aerial. So, yeah, good to hear you, Keith, and, yeah, glad you're getting a bit more towards home anyway now, and I hope everything goes well, mate. Put it back to you, Keith, and then you can throw it back to Bernard. 20 BRQ M0 RKK.
Yeah, thank you for that, Rich. Over to you, Bernard, from 20 BRQ.
Yeah, okay, thanks, Rich. Yeah, John, M0JBA, like to have a contact with Keith from the G3MW with the slightly increased group. Over.
Yep, 20 BRQ from M0 JBA. Evening, Keith. You're about 4-2 here, a bit scratchy. but I can make out most of what you say. So you've got out into rehab a little bit earlier than you expected, I believe. Over.
John's calling you. Any copy on John, Keith? 20 BRQ from G3MW. John was giving you a call. Is it a negative copy, Keith? Appreciate a call if you're copying me. Over. Yeah, I've lost him there, John there. I'll just put it on to Keith. No. Yes. Anybody hearing the call? Over.
I did hear him when you heard him at the same time, Bernard. Are you still on, Keith?
Yeah, I've got the nurse and that in here with me, so I'll call you back in a minute.
Oh, okay. Did you get that, Bernard?
Yeah, I knew it was there. John, have you worked Keith over?
G3AMW, group from M0 JBA. No, I've not worked Keith yet. I gave a call and got no reply, but apart from the quick exchange I had with Rich, the nurse is there, and it'll be back on the net a bit later, Bernard. Over.
Yeah, just hold me back a bit later. Just go again on that last comment.
Keith will be back a bit later, Bernard.
Yes, fine on that. Right. I'll just put it on to Dave, 2ER-RDL. Did you hear anything, Keith?
G3AMW 2ER-IDL. No, I couldn't hear him at all, Bernard. I heard him on Monday through the repeater, but I can't hear him at all tonight.
Yeah, so that's simplest. What kind of QRO are you running at the moment, over?
About 12 watts, Bernard, 12 watts.
Yeah, well, a nice signal with me. Right, okay, we'll just see if we've got anybody else then. G3MW, Thursday evening, VHF, whole radio net, VHF net listening. Appreciate a call on the other station on frequency. Yeah, nothing heard there, so I'll just run to the top of the list. I've got Richard again. M0RKK. You'll have worked John and Dave, RDL, and what look have you had with Keith, Rich?
G3MW M0RKK. Yeah, I got Keith on a plus 20 because he's in rehab, Bernard, in Sutton. So, it's only literally just around the corner from me. He's not too far at all. And he's working off a handheld. So that, I mean, John's doing well to get him actually. But yeah, obviously Dave had a little bit of a problem. So yeah, he did say that hopefully he'll be back later. He just got a nurse with him at the minute. So yeah, it was good to speak to him, Bernard, over.
Yeah, super that. Yeah. It's the nursing home, is it, at the moment? That's over.
It's rehab. It's not actually a nursing home. He's in rehab because he's unable to walk. So they're just getting him, just getting his limbs going and stuff like that, and looking after him because he's, like he said, he's bedridden. So yeah, fingers crossed. Once he starts getting back on his feet again, he'll be able to go back home.
Yeah, that's the trouble, isn't it? And of course, there's no lightweight in the lad. So yeah, not what you call an easy path back to walking, as you might say. Right, I'll just put it on to John. We haven't a lot on at the moment, but there's Richard, yourself, there's Dave, and there's been Keith and myself, John. Any comments from G3AMW?
Yep, G3AMW and the net from M0 JBA. Well, I don't think I really got a lot to add. I've worked you, I've worked Rich, I've worked Dave, and a very brief contact.
You all still there from 2ER-BRQ?
Back in a few minutes, and we can, well, some of us can have a word with him, depending on the signal strength of propagation, Bernard. Apart from that, Oh yeah, a little bit about the high temperatures where I say you can go in the swimming pools. Yeah, pools possibly, but when I was out in Qatar, we could only stop in the sea so long before I had to come out, because in the shallows it was above body temperature, so you didn't get any cooling from that either. In fact, it tended to make it worse. I did a bit of scuba diving there, and it was gets below the top 2 or 3 foot of water, and it was pleasantly cool. But on the surface, I say it was above body temperature and a bit of a nuisance. So back to you, Bernard. G3 AMW from M0 JBA. Over.
Yeah, super that, John. M0 JBA G3 AMW with the group. Yeah, yeah, the temperature's there in the tap. Yeah, didn't want heat in here. Marvellous that. Right, okay. I'll just put it on to Dave there, see if there's anything. I've got you right this time, Dave. 20 RDL from G3MW with the group.
G3 AMW with the group 2E0 IDL. Thanks, Bernard. No, just talking about temperatures. Certainly, where I used to live in Spain, we had a very, very good local swimming pool that was very well looked after, with a decent restaurant and all the rest of it. But just outside the pool was one of these temperature gauge things, you know, electronic gauges that told you what the local temperature was. And we went out there one day and it had actually melted, so it was pretty warm. But as you say, keep in the pool and then keep in the shade, and you're all right. That was about it. So I don't think I've got anything else to add at that point, Bernard. So I'll pass it back to you. G3 AMW in the group from 2E0 IDL.
Yes, okay, super that, Dave. Yeah, a terrific temperatures by the sounds of that. Yeah, is it a few years ago since you was working out there, was you, at that time? Or was it just holiday time? Over?
No, I actually had a house out there, Bernard, for about 10 years, and then for various reasons had to move back to the UK. So I came back about 3 years ago, but enjoying the British weather. Back to you.
Yeah, the cooler weather. Yeah, I like that, the British weather. And whether you class it as normal weather, I don't know. Okay, Dave, right. Well, just see if there's any more squeaks out of keys. 20BRQ, G3 MW with the group. No, nothing heard at my end. I'll put it on Joe Rich. Any copy laterally from Keith, over?
Yeah, Rich, I'm so busy with an air.
Yeah, Richard, are you copying? D3AMW listening.
G3AMW M0RKK. Yeah, Keith just called in. I don't know whether you heard him, but he's still busy with the nurse, Bernard. So yeah, hopefully be back in a bit anyway. So yeah, what about hot weather? Years and years and years ago, I did about 6 or 7 years working in Pirelli tyres at Burton-on-Trent. And when it got too hot there, they just used to bring you salt tablets, and that's as good as you got. Keep working and tap these. So yeah, of course now health and safety at the wall, innit? As if it'd ever get that hot, outside as it would in that place. Oh, it really did get warm. So yeah. It's a contest coming up this weekend. It's a Swiss contest. I'm going to have a go, I think. If I can pronounce it. It's... I googled it as well, and I can't remember how it's pronounced, but it's Halista, I think, or something like that. But it's not. It doesn't look like that spelled, but it's... It doesn't start too early. It starts at 1 o'clock. On a Saturday and finishes at 1 o'clock on a Sunday, so that'll do me. I can start at dinner time. Worldwide one, and I'm going to there's a board that I've been threatening to put in my Yaesu, which is a voice recording board. So I might put that in tomorrow. So if I call CQ, I can just press a button rather than constantly call him, because with this station here, it's not a super station, so I'll probably be calling quite a few times before I get anything back. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do this weekend, Bernard. G3 AMW M0RKK.
Yeah, okay, Rich, from G3 AMW. Yeah. What time's that, and what's the frequency? Over.
It's all bands. Well, it's 10 meters, 15, 20, 40, 80 in top band. CW, SSB, and digital. So it virtually covers everything, Bernard. To be honest, it's it's Switzerland anyway, but it's a worldwide participation. You basically just give them a signal report and a serial number, unless of course you live in you live there, and there's a two-letter thing that they send back. Of course, you get extra points if you can get them guys. So yeah, it's 1 o'clock, 1 o'clock Saturday till 1 o'clock Sunday. So dinner time till dinner time, Bernard.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you'll be more or less leaving it while it's the start time to see what bands are usable. Rich, is that how you're looking at it? Over.
Yeah, I put the 40 metre antenna back up this afternoon. Well, more towards tea time actually, so I can work up to 40 metres. I could probably work 80, but it'd be using a tuner to work 80, and it probably weren't very well. And I haven't got the room for a top band antenna, so I'll be doing 10 metres to 40, Bernard.
Yeah, 10, 20 and 40, but possibly not 80. Might be alright after tea, or 80 might be. Over.
Yeah, possibly, yeah, but I don't think my antenna will be very good tuned into 80. But 40's pretty up at night time as well, that's not too bad. And sometimes early-ish in the morning, so I might catch a bit on 40. Probably be into G stuff, to be honest, more than abroad, but I might do a bit on 40 Saturday night and Sunday morning.
Yes, okay. So that's after 1 o'clock. I'll try and see what I can hear with what limited. Hopefully, when the weather improves, and John will give us down to try and improve my antennas here for HF. Anyway, we'll have to see, Rich. So for that, best of luck, and I'll be listening to see if I can hear anything. Right, over to you, John. If Rich has any comments, take your comments, Rich, and then pass it on to John. That's M0JBA from G3MW with the group.
G3AMW and the group from M0JBA. Just a little snippet to add about salt tablets. Yeah, in all my time overseas, I never had salt tablets after the first week. It was out in Qatar, and one of the old-timers there gave me a tip. Have a taste of your sweat, and if it's salty, you don't need salt tablets. And working on that basis, I've never had salt tablets since. I was managing to get enough salt in my diet. So it's just one of these things, isn't it? Whether necessary or not, I can't really say, but that tip seems to work for me. I never, well, apart from being bloody uncomfortable, I never had any bad effects from the height. Well, I got sunstroke to be avoided. But one day in about 10 years, it's not over the top. So I don't think salt tablets are really are an essential, although it is common advice to take them. And now, with that, back to you, Bernard. G3AMW from M0JBA. Over.
Yeah, okay, John. M0JBA G3MW. Yes, actually, yeah. Salt tablets, yeah. I've never been involved in any of that, so I can't give any comments there. Okay, right, I'll pass it on to Dave, see if there's anything to add to things. 2 is your IDL. Dave, any comments to what's gone on from G3MW with the group?
G3AMW with the group 2E0IDL. Thanks, Bernard. No, I don't think I've got any more comments, Bernard, to be quite honest. I've never got involved in salt tablets in Spain, so I haven't licked my arms to see if I'm salty or not. So I don't think I've got anything else to add, so I'll just pass it back to you, G3 AMW from 2E0 IDL.
Yeah, you're well salted then, are you, Dave? Over.
Yeah, I've been told I'm salty enough, Bernard, thank you.
I like that one, Dave. Yeah, right, okay. I'll just give Keith a call and just see if we get any reply. 2-0BRQ. I wonder if you're still about, Keith, or hearing anybody. From G3MW with the reasonably small group tonight. Yeah, I'll pass it on to Rich, because I'm not hearing anything. Any copy on Keith there, Rich, over?
No, none at all, Bernard. So shall I read the net news while I'm on over?
Yeah, that's good. That might be a bit and find something interesting for everybody. From G3MW. Back to you, Rich.
Cheers, Bernard. M0RKK. Yeah, I mean it's for anybody else that happens to be listening anyway. Yeah. So we're up to Thursday, aren't we? Sunday night, Humber Fortress has got a net at 8 p.m. They've changed the time to 8 p.m. now on 145425. So that's get on the air net, Humber Fortress 2 metre net. Monday, HADARS has got a net on the GB3HS repeater at 7 p.m. And we'll also be live streaming that as well on YouTube. Wednesday, Andy G7LRR runs a 10 metre net at 8 p.m. on 28425. And then we're back round to tonight's net, Thursday HADARS net, which starts at 7 p.m. on 145325. So many thanks for that, Bernard. Back to you, G3 AMWM 0KK.
Yeah, super that, Rich. Right. I'm sure it's next Tuesday, the first Tuesday in the month. The Tuesday night net will be rappers. So if anybody can get on, I much appreciate it, because we're all the short numbers on the Tuesday night monthly net there, and. At the moment, I haven't got the news, but there's another week to go, hopefully. Right, I'll show it on to John, M0JBA, from G3M.
2E0BRQ, this is 2E0BLS. Are you receiving me, Keith, over?
Yes, go again, very low down the station calling.
Hello?
But you can pop in the net. It's the whole radio net. G3AMW listening.
The one that was calling for Keith, do you want to come in, please, over?
Yeah, Roger. Yeah, this is 2E0VLS, and I've got Keith on the telephone now. Just tell him that he's moved into a residential home. And I was just trying to make a contact him. He's listening in on this frequency at the moment, over.
Yeah, we're actually running the Hull and District Amateur Radio Club evening net on this frequency. But yeah, Keith did call in. I didn't get a name actually. 2E0VLS. Thanks for joining. I didn't get a name. Name's Rich this way. M0RKK. He's got a nurse with him at the minute. He said he's going to pop back on shortly. Over.
Roger on that one. So I'll just sit on the side of the frequency this time in then.
Okay, can we just have a name, please?
Yeah, sorry. The name of this side is Ray, Romeo Alpha Yankee.
Okay, Ray. Many thanks for that. A good signal anyway into Brandsheim this way anyway. Plus 9+ anyway. Back to you, Bernard. G3 AMW M0RKK.
Yeah. Okay, Rich. Right. 2E0VLS. Ray, can you give us a copy? Are you copying me? G3MW listening. Yeah, I was getting you all right, Rich. What sort of signal?
Yeah, it was a good signal actually, Bernard, but he did say he was just hanging on the side just until Keith comes back on. I think he probably wanted to chat with Keith, but... yeah, I mean, could you hear Bernard then, Ray, over? No, it's disappeared, Bernard. Back to you, M0RKK.
Yeah, he's hoping for a quick contact with Keith, is he, Rich?
I believe so, Bernard, yeah.
Right, okay. Right, thanks for the info there. Always a bit of interest to, I'm sure it is, Rich. So it adds a bit more flavour to the net. RKK G3MW.
Yeah, cheers, Bernard. Yeah, it was nice. Somebody new to pop in. I've not heard Ray before, and like I say, it was a good signal to me. And you must have heard him anyway. So yeah, I think he's probably just sitting on the side, hoping that Keith might come back. He's got one of them ladies looking after him at the minute, so he might be some time, Bernard.
Yes, okay. Well, I managed to call sign anyhow. I won't say it was strong, possibly about 3 or 4, but at least I was copying him. Right, well, just see if IDL, Dave, have you any comments to anybody? 20 IDL from G3MW with a slightly increased group then, over.
G3AMW 20 IDL. Yeah, thanks, Bernard. No, I don't think I've got anything today to add to what's already been said, Bernard, to be quite honest. So I'll pass it back to you and we'll go from there.
Yes, okay, Dave. G20 IDL from G3AMW. Well, not to worry. We can't manufacture information, but have a very good weekend. I might be running a reasonably short net tonight. What time is it? Oh, it's going on for 1:45. So we aren't doing bad. We've nearly had 3/4 of an hour. Right, let's have a look. I'll give Keith another call. 20 BRQ. Any copy on my signal, Keith? G3AMW listening.
Brake station?
Yeah, go ahead to break.
Yeah, it's M0INM, Bernard. Good evening, one and all. It's Larry here.
Coming in, Larry. M0INM at G3MW. Just remind me of the QTH, over, and your power, over.
Yeah, M0INM. It's Larry here, crossing Cottingham, not too far from John. And currently, I think it's 50 watts I'm running at the moment, Bernard, so I hope everybody's receiving me. Everybody else is loud and clear. And Ray 2E0VLS, I just managed to hear him as well. So everybody's copyable and very loud, including John just across the fence.
So for that, Larry, M0INM from G3AMW. I'll shoot you to the top of the list, Rich, M0RKK. Like to give him a call, I'm sure you'll be copying him.
M0INM, M0RKK in the group. Hi, Larry. You're doing well, mate. Well, you and yours, actually. And I don't think we spoke, so yeah, welcome back from your holidays. I know it's probably a little while ago now. Yeah, welcome back to some rather nasty weather compared to what you had when you were away. But we've got a heat wave at the weekend now, 16 degrees. That's well, that's roasting for this country, isn't it? And stopping anyway, Larry, this week, tonight, sorry. Great audio, I should say. M0INM, M0RKK.
Yeah, M0INM to M0RKK. Yeah, all copy, Rich. Your end stopping too, a cracking signal, as usual, actually. And likewise, great audio. So, yeah, I've been away quite a bit, actually. We were away for a long weekend last weekend, so the opportunity for radio has been a bit limited lately, well, with work commitments and going away. We always seem to be going away, don't we? But, yeah, it's not the right temperature, is it, Rich? It's just not right. And looking out of the shack window at the moment, it's drizzling, it's horrible, it's dark and miserable. So things can only get better. But as somebody said to me today, don't complain about anything in this country because there's a lot worse places in the world. And that's perfectly true, isn't it? So I hope you're well, Rich. Everything's fine here. I've recovered from the COVID experience of 3 or 4 weeks ago. That wasn't very pleasant. That was thrown in the mix as well. That's the second time I've had it in less than a year, so I don't want it again, thank you very much. It was not too pleasant. pleasant this time, just as it wasn't last time. So hope everybody else manages to avoid it, but it's just a reminder that it's still around, isn't it? And if you don't get that, you might get the flu or a heavy cold or something else. So take care. Anyway, back to you, Rich.
Yeah, cheers, Larry. Yeah, I'm glad you got over it and you're up and well and good. Anyway, now, so yeah, good to you anyway, Larry. Back to you, Bernard. So you can throw Larry around the houses at G3AMW M0RKK.
Yeah, till next, Rich, on that. Right, Larry, give John a call, M0JBA, from G3MW with a group.
M0JBA, good evening, John. I hope you're receiving me loud and clear, like I just heard your last over, I think it was, just as I came in the shack a little bit late. My wife and I had been out for a walk past your house, actually, and just managed to get in before it started raining, so timed that just right. Back to you, John.
Yeah, M0INM from M0JBA. Yeah, evening, Larry. Long time no here. Yeah, you're fairly strong signal over this side of this side of the fence, Larry, as you'd expect. I won't bother to report it. Yeah, so anyhow, back to you, Larry. Over.
Yeah, I was just thinking as I walked past tonight, John, you're a bit scarce outside the front of your house, because one of these days we're going to bump into each other and introduce ourselves face to face. But I seldom see any activity at the front of your house, John. So short of knocking on your door to see if you're in, I'm at a loss. Back to you, John.
Oh, you can do that anytime you feel like it, Larry. If the Zafira is on the front, I'm almost certainly in. I might be in the garage out in the back, but I'll be on the premises. Yeah, so if you don't want to pop in for a chat, and if I really like you can have a cup of tea, Larry. Over.
Yeah, thanks very much, John. I usually gauge whether you're in or not by whether your antennas are up, because they're up and down like the proverbial, well, I'll say a yo-yo. I was going to say something else then, but rather like the flag on Buckingham Palace, John. If it's flying, you're in. If it's not, you're not. Back to you.
Yeah, I think you're referring to some item of professional ladies' garments. Yeah, no, the reason my aerial's up down, it's not a sign of whether I'm in or out. It's whether I've been expecting strongest winds. Because as you've seen, it's only a fishing pole, and it tends to bend a fair bit and worries the wife. Over.
Yes, I know the feeling. I have to take my antennas down as well, because it rattles in the night if it's windy, really windy. So I suffer from the same thing. It doesn't bother me, but it bothers her. So to keep her happy, I winch it down if we're expecting strong winds. Over.
Yeah, it's well, got to put up with these sacrifices for a bit of marital harmony and a good hot supper, don't you? Over.
Oh yes, I know which side my bread's buttered, John.
Yeah, these are things you learn to live with over the years, aren't they, Larry? Over.
Indeed. Anyway, I'll put it back to you, Bernard. I hope you're well. I haven't asked you, but I haven't spoken to you for quite a while, Bernard. I hope you're keeping well, and you sound it anyway. So great to hear you on the air tonight.
Yes, okay, Larry. M0INM from G3MW with a group. Yeah, super that, Larry. Yes, I'm reasonable. I've picked up a bit. I was really bad, but I've still got a bit of throat trouble, but managing to run the net tonight. So we aren't doing too bad. We're picked up. I think we've got about 8 now, so we're doing okay. Right. Have you worked towards your RDL, Dave, Larry, from G3?
No, I'll give him a call. 2E0IDL, Dave. Good evening, Dave. M0INM.
M0INM, good evening, Larry. 2E0IDL. Yeah, you're coming through to me 5 and 9 plus 40, no problem whatsoever. I'm down near Mount Pleasant in the dry pool area. Back to you.
Yeah, well, I just looked at the meter there, Dave, and you're way over the 40, probably 50 plus, so cracking. I just wonder what power you're running, Dave, over.
I'm actually just running about 12 watts tonight, about 12 watts through a X30 Colin.
You know, plainly, Dave, you don't need any more than 12 watts, but cracking. I actually worked Australia on, I think it was 10 meters, and he was calling for QRP stations. I had the linear on at the time, you know, running 400 watts, and he was calling for QRP, so I switched the linear off quickly, which meant I was putting into the linear about 50 watts. So I worked Australia with 50 watts the other week, and I was absolutely delighted with that on 10 meters. And he gave me 5x6, 5x7, but conditions were just about perfect on 10 meters at the time. So it shows that when conditions are right, you don't need high power, and it's quite nice, isn't it, when you just sit back and think, yeah, that's Australia with 50 watts, fantastic. Back to you, Dave.
Yeah, that's brilliant. That is brilliant. No, as you say, if the conditions are right, it's excellent, and you've got to have the right antenna as well. I struggle a bit with antennas, unfortunately. We're still getting out and about and making the contacts, which is what it's all about. So I enjoy it, whether it's someone next door or, as you say, someone in VK, but it's all good fun. So I'll pass it back to you, then perhaps back to Bernard, Larry.
Yeah, it's no big shakes here. The HF antenna is just the MA5B, you know, the little Cushcraft mini beam. That's about all I've got room for here, but it does well. It does on all bands. It's really only a one element on 17, and 17 meters has been up pretty good openings on 17 just lately as well. So I've worked quite a bit of DX on 17. You know, usually put the linear on for that, but no, 10 meters has been cracking at the right time of day or whenever. But I've had limited opportunity the last few weeks, but hoping that I'll get a bit more soon. So let's hope for the best, and let's hope this Sunspot Cycle 25, is it, continues to live up to expectations, because so far it's been pretty good, and into the evenings as well, because usually after dark on HF, nothing. But this last few weeks when I've been listening, it's been open well into sort of 10 o'clock, half past, on 20 meters particularly. So if you're into that HF thing, it's working out quite well. But like you, Dave, I do like to work the local stations as well on VHF, and sometimes you get the DX as well on here, so it's pretty good. Anyway, I'll put it back to you, Bernard. G3 AMW, M0 INM with the group.
Yeah, so with that, Larry, M0INM from G3 AMW with the increased group there. Right, I'll just run you through who I've got down and see if we've got everybody. Richard, have you welcome to Richard? He's my top of my list. That's M0. John's next, M0 JBA, and 280 IDL. Dave. And Keith has been on, but I don't think you get him. That's 280 BRQ. He's improved slightly, but still under the weather, is the lad. Right. So let's have a look. Have I got anybody? Ray, 280 BLS, is it? Ray. And that's about my lot, Larry, from G3MW.
Brick.
Breaker.
Yeah, it's Andy, G7 SZR. Yeah, sorry Bernard, just try Keith again. I'm sure he's trying to get in reference Ray's call earlier on from G7 SZR.
G7 SZR, G3MW, calling you Keith, any joy, over?
BRQ returning, I'm back Bernard. I've been busy with the nurses at the moment, and I've just come back. And it's nice to hear you all on tonight.
Yeah, okay, you're just there, Keith. Crackle and bang, but you're just there. Anyhow, keep improving, Keith. You're obviously copying us. I'm struggling myself with you there, Keith. And best of luck for the next coming week or two, Keith, from G3 AMW with the Thursday evening VHF net. If you can just give us a shout back, I'll see if I can copy. Yeah, give us another shout, Keith, and I'll see if I can copy. No, nothing heard. Richard, any copy on Keith? M0RKK G3MW. Richard, are you on frequency G3MW? Just wondered if you're hearing anything on Keith. Yeah, John, M0JBA, are you still with us?
Somebody's got the lock on, haven't they, Rick?
Yeah, my problem. Rich, any copy?
Yeah, I've got you now, Bernard. Yeah, I think you just by mistake had your key lock on. Yeah, I've got Keith all right. And good evening to you as well, Andy. Coming in at +20. Thanks for the information. I don't know whether shall we bring Wayne, Bernard, see if he just wanted to say hello to Keith over.
Yeah, go ahead, Rich. You give him a call.
Okay, mate. Thank you. 2E0 BLS. If you're still on, Ray, Keith's back on. If you wanted to say hello, over.
Roger, this is 2 Echo 0 Victor Lima Sierra 10. Yeah, I've just been having a chinwag with Keith on 375 there. We just had a little natter there, but he said he was going to have a cup of tea, get himself settled in, because I do believe he just moved in this evening into his new place there. So anyway, he said 73 to him, and we're going to try and get a little bit of a sked going on an evening time, around about 7:30 to 8 o'clock there. He's only round the corner from where my QTH is, so when he's settled in, I'm going to see if I can pop round and do some visits. But obviously, it's all, as I used to say, all no notion at the moment. Over.
M0RKK. Yeah, that'd be nice for him, wouldn't it? John popped round and saw him at Castle Hill the other day. So yeah, it's nice that nice he's back over our side of town anyway, Ray. I'm not too far away from you. I'm so I'm picking Keith up quite well. Your end stopping, obviously. So yeah, well, I'm glad you managed to have a chat with him. Back to you, Bernard. G3AMW M0RKK.
Yeah, that's super, that, Rich. M0RKK G3MW with the group. Right, I'll run through to make sure we've got as many as we can. Next one is John, M0JBA. Hope you've copied everybody, John, but over to you from G3AMW.
Yep, G3AMW and the group from M0JBA. Yeah, I think I've waited everyone. I've not waited Ray, and I've not waited Andy, but I think Ray's probably on the other frequency now with Keith. So I'll give Andy a shout. G7SZR from M0JBA. Yeah, evening, Andy. You're coming about in Cottingham about 5 before. 5 before in Cottingham. Name here, John. Over.
Yeah, no problem, John. Yeah, 5 before. Quite surprised. Why is that then? Anyway, yeah, you're 5.9 plus, John. What was power am I using? Alright, 20 watts. Heard the conversation earlier on between Ray and Keith, and I thought logic says that they're obviously very close together. So, and I could hear Keith very occasionally trying to break in. So that's why I came in. So I'm not going to hold it because I'm sitting here pounding the keyboard, doing stuff for work again as usual. So, yeah, many thanks for letting us in. Cheers, Bernard. Cheers, John. And all the lads, cheers.
Oh, Andy, apologies. Your 5.9 plus here had looked at the wrong signal report. Over.
Yeah, I nearly got on the roof then, John. I thought, what's going on?
Yeah, okay.
Just on 5 watts, John. Over.
Yeah, I'm at full maximum power of 5 watts, Bernard.
Yeah, you're booming in there. Looks as though you're doing 50, but that's pretty good, John. Over.
Yeah, it's that X50 antenna. It's up about 9.5 metres in the sky. Over.
Yeah, well, that makes a difference, doesn't it? Height increases power. Right, so anybody else hasn't missed anybody out, just give us a shout. I'm just about in a complete jumble. From G3MW, the Thursday evening VHF night listening.
M0INM, I'll just say hello to Andy before he goes, Bernard.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, G7SZR. Good evening, Andy. M0INM. Larry across in Cossingham. You're booming in 50 over the 9 with me, so no problem at all. Nice to hear you on the band, Andy. And Keith, I don't know whether you can hear me or not, but I can certainly hear you fine. Ray, 2E0 VLS, you were a bit scratchy, but 5x3, something like that. Using Ray, but presumably not that much. But we have worked before, I think, Ray, but good evening to you. And just like to say, get well soon, Keith, and I understand you've been a bit under the weather, but the only way is up now, so hope that's okay. Back to you, Bernard.
Yeah, super that from G3AMW. Right, anybody hasn't worked, anybody, just give us a shout. And we've done pretty well, I think, tonight, from a very slow start from G3MW.
Yeah, just a quick one to Larry there, M0INM, G7SZR. Yeah, cheers Larry, 59 plus 10, but then again, we're not that far away. So I do know your location. I'm often rounding about in that area, working Cottingham, so I'm flying around that area. I know where most of you guys are, and yeah, it's amazing. I've seen your antenna set up, looks quite impressive, Larry.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you like it, Andy. The neighbours don't, but there you go. Well, no, that's not strictly true. Some of the neighbours don't like it, but it's quite unobtrusive when it's down. If you've seen it when it's up at its maximum, Andy, then yes, I agree. It does look a bit top-heavy, doesn't it?
Yeah, but it does the job. That's all it is. At the end of the day, you're not going to please everybody every time. So anyway, I'm going to clear. Cheers, Bernard. Cheers, Larry. Cheers, all the guys from G7SZR.
Yes, okay, G7FZR from G3MW. A very good night and a weekend ahead, and hope to get you next Thursday. And with the improved weather on the forecast, you never know, do you? Right, G3MW, I'll go to the top of the list and run through. Rich, any comments to anybody? M0RKK, G3MW with the group.
G3MW, M0RKK. No other comments, Bernard, other than thanks very much for running the net, and I'm glad you could. And I'm glad you're getting better as the days go on, mate. Look after yourself, have a great weekend, and hope to catch you again soon. G3 AMW M0RKK. Thanks, Bernard.
Remarks, Rich. Always a pleasure. Over to John, M0JBA from G3MW, running through the group.
Yep, G3 AMW from M0JBA. Yeah, thanks for running the net, Bernard, and wish everyone 7-3s. And if we get a spell of nice weather next week, Bernard, I might pop over and see if we can do anything with your antennas. Over.
Yeah, that sounds good, John. If good weather was needed, isn't it? So just give us a buzz. Over.
Yeah, will do, Bernard.
Yeah, very good night, John. A good weekend ahead. Right, let's have a look at where RDL, 2ER Dave from G3MW.
G3AMW 2E0IDL. Yeah, thanks, Bernard. Thanks very much for running the net tonight, and it's good to hear you're feeling better and getting better all the time. That's really good. So 73s to you and everybody else. Have a good weekend and catch you all next week.
73s, Dave. Did it. Right, just in case 2E0BRQ, get well as soon as you possibly can, Keith. And yeah, I'm pleased you've at least got on the net from G3MW.
2E0BRQ returning, I will do. I'll be back to normal before long. And Larry in Cottingham, I'm getting you loud and clear. Larry, I'm getting you loud and clear from Cottingham. And it's nice to hear you on as well. So thanks for doing the net, Bernard. And you take care, Larry.
Yeah. You're just a two, actually, breaking up. I got most of that, Keith, so a good night and a good weekend ahead, and get well as soon as possible. Right, 2ER BLS, Ray, are you still on frequency? Over.
G3 AMW, this is 2E0 VLS returning there. Yeah, still monitor there, Bernard. Yeah, thank you for allowing me in there, my friend. I'm sorry that I butted in like I did, but I was just wanted to get in touch with Keith for the first time in an absolute age, and I'm glad things are improving that side. So apologies for butting in there, my friend. Over.
Yeah, not to worry, Larry. And a good weekend ahead, and try and get on Thursday. Always keep Thursday clear if you can. From G3MW.
Yeah, 73 Bernard, and to the rest of the oh, excuse me, tickly cough, and to everybody else that's on the frequency. Super,
that's right. G7FZR. I'm still on frequency from G3MW. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm still listening, Bernard, still listening. Can I just try Keith? 2E0 Bravo Romeo Quebec. Any copy, Keith?
Yeah, I'm getting you loud and clear, my friend, from 20BRQ.
Oh, that's great, Keith. Yeah, 4 and 4 here, 4 and 4. But yeah, perfectly audible. Yeah, I'm not going to hold it, but many thanks, Keith. You keep getting well.
It's not bad from an handheld, is it?
No, it's doing really well. Doing really well. So yeah, okay. Hopefully we'll speak to you later.
Yeah, find that. Can you just give me the last letter? F said question mark, and apologies, I haven't got the name.
Yeah, no problem. It's Andy, Bernard. Andy. Golf 7 Sierra Zulu Romeo. Sierra Zulu Romeo.
Yes, Golf 7 Fox Zulu Romeo. Is that correct, Andy?
No, it's Sierra Sugar Zulu Romeo.
Yeah. FZR, Roger?
Yeah, SZR. Yeah, 100% Bernard.
Yeah, where's your QTH, Andy?
Swanland, Bernard, Swanland.
Yeah, that's a good signal anyhow. A very good night, and thanks for coming on the net, and a good weekend ahead. And I've just about got through the list, so I'll wish everybody a very good night. Shortwave listeners, John Honhold and Tom, if you're listening, very good night to everybody on the net. G3MW, if not called, is closing the net.
Yeah, 73s, many thanks.
73s, did-da-did-da.